patience, grace and patience, guys. And I really, honestly, I got this conversation topic. Well, I was inspired by this conversation topic by a friend, uh, and honestly, when she explained this to me, I didn't really realize that I guess I wasn't using it as much. And then the topic came up again on this podcast that I was watching earlier this week. And I just been watching different podcasts. Honestly, I've been doing that, doing my own podcast. And this is something that I don't do enough with myself. I feel like I probably could do it better with others. I don't consider myself a selfish person or a biased person, but when I pause and look at the whole picture, I can see where grace, patience, and understanding that's something that I need to work on more. I have to be more open minded when it comes to certain situations and not just stern and stubborn. Because sometimes I feel like I'm just stubborn and I want things to go my way I want things to go my way, exactly my way, you know? So that's just something that I know I need to work on, that I'm going to be working on. And if you're younger, right, I really suggest that you work on it too. All right? No, nobody's perfect. No man is perfect. We all have flaws. We all need to become better people when it comes to certain situations. I ain't gonna even say certain situations, but just life in general. I feel like we can definitely become better people. And I'm talking to myself as well. Uh, there's certain things that I feel like I could be further ahead in life when it comes to just life in general. But at the end of the day, it's like I made those decisions prior to all of this happening, you know? And when I say prior to all of this happening, I'm talking about prior to 37, prior to 36, prior to all of those ages. But I have to know too, right? Not to be so down on myself too. What's good, everybody? From Carolina, from North Carolina, in the U.S. What about y'all? We're talking about grace and patience, and that's just something I know I have to get better with myself, and also with my son too. Like I feel like I need to be more patient with him as well, because he's still young. He's only 10. He don't know everything, and sometimes I feel like I put a little too much pressure on him, you know. And I don't want to ruin a relationship with my son just because I feel like things should be going a certain way. And I don't want to ruin a relationship with people because I feel like things should be going a certain way at a certain time. So I have to give myself grace. I need to work on my patience. And honestly, guys, when y'all get 37, when you hit your 30s, right? I always tell all my clients too, especially my younger clients, like your patience is definitely going to grow a little thin. I'm not going to say thin as a piece of paper, but the things that you was willing to deal with in your 20s, once you hit your 30s, it's going to definitely change. And I don't know if it changed like that, but it definitely, I felt a change. Like once I turned 30, like I'm like, all right, bro, I'm not about to do this. Like I'm not about to do that. But time is a big dictator when it comes to life experience. Yeah, it helps, you know? It helps. Okay, if you can translate that for me, I definitely will appreciate that. But yeah, time, people say time heals all wounds. I don't know about that, but it definitely softens up the the pain. It's not as sharp, you know. Usually when people going through pain, like mentally, physically too, you can feel it too. But time definitely, you know, it heals. You know, it heals over time. It softens up that pain, and you're able to deal with it a little bit better. When I was before my BM, she broke up with me like 3 years ago. It might have been already. It might have been about four now. Bro, that was like one of the most sharpest pains I've ever felt in my life. Like that pain right there was crudy, and it wasn't physical, but it well, I guess it was physical too because I felt it, you know, and I didn't think I was ever going to get over that. And honestly, like now, like I feel so much better. Like I'm not gonna say I'm all the way over it, but I'm over it enough where I know that I don't want that anymore. You know, like she's a cool individual and everything, but I know that's not a situation I want to put myself in again. You know, and that time definitely helped. You know, time definitely helps. Um, I was at a point where I didn't want to see her, I didn't want to talk to her, I didn't want to hear her voice, none of that stuff. But now I can carry on a conversation. I can be in the same room. You know, I can definitely do that. But another thing I want to tell all my younger clients, not clients. Oh, good morning. My bad, my bad. Good morning. One thing I want to tell my younger viewers, just make sure you have it right. Okay? Make sure you have your stuff together. Build a foundation early. And the thing is, sometimes you might have to start all over. And I'm in that season right now. I've been starting all over for almost 2 years now. But make sure that you have your stuff together the best way you can. And you might not have everything together, but what you can have together is you can have your finances somewhat together, and you can have a backup plan with that, right? You can have your goals together. And I'm not saying that you will reach all your goals at a particular time. The more time you put into anything that you want to become great at, right? It's going to take time and it's going to take consistency over and over again. So just keep doing that and build. When I say build, it's like every day you're putting some work in, right? Every day you put some work in, like time again. Let me see if I can use something, right? So I got a little bit of cars. I'm putting more on. I'm putting more on. I'm putting more on. I'm putting more on every day. And before you know, that stack of cars look like that. And if I keep doing it, right, the stack of cars go all the way up here. That's how much time and patience you're putting on whatever you're trying to become good at, whatever you're trying to be great at, right? Whether it be your foundation, whether it be a relationship, you got to build. I just know with me, I feel like my patience when it comes to obtaining certain things in life, I feel like I have to really work on it. I got to because, like, when I was younger, like my early 20s, I knew that by the age of 35, 36, I should be good. I should be good. Like, I imagine myself like 32, 33, that I'll be married right now, a nice size house, going on vacations. little stuff like that, right? But it didn't happen like that. Now I could blame myself. I could make excuses. I could complain, but I'm not. That's where grace comes in. I got to give myself grace. You know, Kurt Franklin was talking about that. Tyler Perry was talking about that. My dad was talking about that. My mom was talking about it. Like, you have to give yourself some type of grace. You can't just be totally hard on yourself. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm giving myself some grace, and I'm just giving myself time to make sure that I have my stuff right, you know? And I'm being patient with the stuff I do now. Like, I'm not about to jump into anything. I'm not trying to pull anybody into my world right now until I know I have my stuff together, because at the end of the day, it's not fair to them. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to the people around me, you know? So that's just something that I know I have to do right now. And honestly, I feel like I'm not that far away from it, even though I'm not seeing financial signs from it. Like, well, I can't say that because I am seeing some financial signs. Because any type of progress, you know, that you have today that wasn't there yesterday is a win in my book. Okay, and I don't want to take it for granted. All right, remember this, guys: grace, patience. Have grace and patience. All right, nobody can. Nobody's going to be able to give yourself grace but you. All right. You have to be the one that's willing to give yourself grace. You have to be the one that's willing to give yourself patience. All right? And you have to work on it. All right? Nobody in the world knows yourself better than you. Well, your parents too, and your siblings, but you have to be that one that's willing to give yourself grace. All right? And not be so hard on yourself. And like I said, you can learn from me. I feel like I'm the most toughest on myself. Like today, I was tired. Like literally, I didn't go to bed yesterday until, well, today until I want to say about like 4:30 this morning. And honestly, I've been doing this. I've been going to bed so late for the past 2.5 months. And I've been saying I'm going to start going to bed earlier, but I haven't. So when I got back home from the barbershop from this morning, because I've been at the barbershop since like 7:40 something this morning, I was tired. And like even on the road, I was like drifting away a little bit. Like, but I was, God had me, and I'm waking up while I was driving, but I took a nap. And usually when I get to the house, I'm doing my workout. So when I get back at the house, I don't have to worry about doing it. But I was like, dang, bro, like I really don't have. I gotta put some sleep in. And I was only gonna do it for like 20 minutes, but the sleep, I needed it. I didn't wake up until like 2 o'clock, and I had to get up, go, get in line for my son, right? So I could pick him up. I gave myself grace. And so what if I have to do my exercise in the morning? I mean, not in the morning, but at night. You know, I just got to get it done. I'm not about to make any excuses. I just got to get it done. There's going to be some days where the plans, what you have planned, is not going to work, but you got to do it anyway. All right, you got to get it done. Um, like I say, you know, everybody has different opinions when it comes to grace, when it comes to patience, when it comes to understanding. But at the end of the day, it still requires time. All right, it requires time. You got to put the time in. You got to chill out and not be so hard, not to be so firm on yourself. Okay, nobody's perfect. You don't want to be too firm on yourself, because you being too firm, too hard on yourself, it's gonna be kind of hard for you to focus. All right, and sometimes I feel like with me, I'm not gonna say it's hard for me to focus, but I feel like sometimes I get off focus, like when I don't give myself enough time just to breathe and relax. and I know I need more of that. It's just frustrating when I know I don't have everything. I don't have everything where it should be. And like my parents said, they tell me all the time, bro, you never gonna have everything the way you want it or way it should be. But I honestly feel like I should at least make sure that my foundation is right, right? I feel like as a man, you need to make sure that that foundation is right, you know? But guys, I can't stay on too much longer. I gotta get off. I had a cancellation at 5, so I said I might as well go ahead, get on here, and go live and do a live broadcast for you. Work on your live, work on your grace, work on your patience. All right, everybody needs it, and we all can learn from each other. Like I always say, each one teach one. Until the next broadcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe so you can stay notified. Um, Work on your grace, work on your patience. Until next time, guys, I'm out.